So, welcome. Some of you may have seen a few months ago, I put on Instagram on my stories the method I use for teaching 3-ball juggling. Now, this is one of these things where I think over the years, with all the youth circus and all the outreach group and all the stuff we've done over the years, I think I can actually genuinely say I've taught well over 1,000 people to juggle using this method. It's incredibly efficient, and what we do is we look at building up the 3-ball juggle by just building the pattern in layers and teaching the corrections you'll need along the way. It's very straightforward. To learn to juggle, first you're going to need some balls. I recommend getting some kind of beanbag if you want to take it seriously. Tennis balls are okay to learn with, but they can be a bit annoying when you're starting and stopping because they'll have a tendency to bounce out of your hand. But they'll work for a moment. But if you want to take it a bit more seriously, like a cheap pair of beanbags will make it go much longer. So I've got a ball here which is slightly fancier, slightly upmarket, about 70 mil. About 100 grams is what I look for in a juggling ball, but there's various preferences. You have to try out and see what you get on it. Some oranges or apples, if you have them lying around, it'll work as well. The main thing that we want to do for this method is we're just going to learn to build the pattern up and build the throwing. We have a phrase in juggling, we don't have catching, we have throwing. That if you throw, and you throw correctly, the ball will just end up in your hand. You don't need to worry about, making movements. Eventually you will need to do this, and everything I say to you today is, it's not a rule set in stone, it's just a series of techniques and other stuff just to teach you and enable you to go. So first we're just going to look at is, when we drop, it just gives us information. Did we throw too far forward, too far to the side, too far to the middle, too far backwards? These will just work like that. And just don't worry too much. We don't worry about mistakes. Just worry about getting the throwing right, and then everything else goes from that. So the first movement we want to do is we're just going to take the ball in our dominant hand, which is my right hand. I'm just going to throw it to my left hand. I'm going to put my hand up to about shoulder height, and it's going to be just waiting for the ball. So I throw, and then I go, okay, what happened? Did it end up in my hand, or did it not make it across? Or did I go too far on the outside? This gives me information. So the idea is that we just try and do this. You're going to try to do this to 20 times in a row. Just throwing. Now all I'm doing is throwing across. If you notice, I'm throwing diagonally across and not straight up the middle. Throw, 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 catch, throw, catch, throw, catch, catch. Very straightforward. Once you've done this about 20 times and you have an idea where your consistent mistake is, this is the main thing we need to get across now, is learning how to correct mistakes. That if I consistently say I consistently throw in the middle too much and it's just not going far enough to the hand, what I want to do is start throwing to the opposite side. So I start throwing too wide to this side, or if I'm going too far forward. Doesn't matter if it goes on the floor, don't worry about that, or if it goes behind you. It's just that you need to find the middle, we have to find the extremes. So we'll do that a bit, and then we'll go back and go, oh, have I got it in my hand? Have I got it in my hand? This will help you find out the correct throw, rather than it's kind of like rolling a ball uphill. It's better to put a bit too much power in, and then know when it goes out, and then take the power out, rather than like going, like, is it there, nearly, trying to add it in sequentially. So just bear that in mind for all your corrections. So the next thing I'm going to do is, once I've got this idea of throwing in an X shape and I can do it, don't worry about dropping. Like, even if you touch the ball at this stage is just as good as a catch, because catching is a skill in and of itself. I'm going to take 2 balls next. With the 2 balls, it's very simple. I'm going to start with my non-dominant hand, which is my left hand for me, and I'm going to go throw, throw, drop, drop. So I'm not going to worry about the catches. I'm just going to learn to get the throws right. So I'll throw left, then I'll throw right, I'll drop them, pick them up again. Throw, throw, cross, drop, drop. We can just do this, throw, throw, drop, drop. Get the idea about this right, and just get, like, you can even take your time. I can throw, drop, throw, drop. This will just get me making sure that I'm throwing in the right direction, because I want this cross, cross, catch, catch. But I want the crossing throwing to be emphasized. So I want it to be as close to symmetric as I can get them. So it looks like up here, up here. The height will It'll vary. Around forehead height is good. Some people need to go a bit higher when they're learning. Some people prefer a bit lower. Play with everything and just see what you prefer. There's no right or wrong here. So once I got this idea that I'm making a nice symmetric cross, then I'll start trying to catch. So I'll go throw, throw, catch, catch. Throw, throw, catch, catch. And I'll say this out loud. It's very important because it will keep your timing. Throw, throw, catch, catch. Very simple. You want to do that about 20 times, 10, 15 times. Once you don't have to get it, we're just building up the pattern. So it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, if you're just it's kind of right, 80% right is good in this. Then the next layer of the pattern is we have to learn to throw 2 balls from one hand and hopefully catch 2 balls in the other hand. It's the exact same idea. So I'm going to throw, gap, throw, catch. So throw, catch, throw, catch. Hopefully, what's going to happen for most of you, you're going to throw and the balls are going to bounce off your hand onto the floor. That's fine. Stopping with 2 balls in one hand, particularly if you're using bigger balls, you're not used to it, is a skill and will take time. It will come after a while, so don't worry too much about it. So even if you're just going throw, throw, conscious drop, perfect. So once I have that, the next thing is we're just going to go to 3 balls. And it's very simple here. I'm just going to go throw, 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 drop, drop, drop. I'm not going to try catch. I just want to emphasize this X pattern again and whatever height we're throwing at. So throw, 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 drop, drop, drop. We can also just take our time. We can do this very spaced out. So throw, drop, throw, drop, throw, drop. We just want to get the throwing pathway ingrained because that's what makes the juggling. It's not worrying too much thing. So we'll do that. I generally tell people to do this 10 times or until it looks consistent. And then it's just a matter of going throw, 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 catch, catch, catch or drop. Throw, 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 boom, drop. Touched my hand, it's as good as a catch. Once you can do that, right hand, starting dominant hand, we built the pattern up. Throw, 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 catch, catch, catch. Throw, 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 catch, catch, catch. Then it's just an idea of just going further. So we're going to try 4. So throw, 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 drop. Throw, 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 drop. Very simple. Once you have it, then it's just a matter of just going for it. What's going to happen is there'll be a tendency to get rooted on the spot. You'll want to get that. We want to try avoid that because the balls are going to be forward and backwards. You have to be able to move. You have to be able to step with it. So don't worry too much if you find things going around a little. You have to get to a point where you have a consistent mistake. Once we have a consistent mistake, let's say I'm always throwing forward and walking forward. Then we go back to our friendly overcorrection, and I'll start just throwing my balls behind me. Just overhead, boom, boom, boom. I'll just do that. I won't even worry about catching or walking backwards. Then once I've done that a bit, then I'll go back to just trying to juggle and find the center. It's very simple. It will take some time. Once you have the idea of okay, I can throw, I can get some other things out, we just want to get the idea of just keeping the elbows down. We'll keep elbows down. The throws are kind of coming from this motion, slightly from the shoulder, slightly from the elbow. The wrist doesn't do much. It's once you get the idea and you can run it a little, we want to get away from catching the ball. I'm not sure you can see this on the camera, but I'm never squeezing the ball down. I'm always just making a pocket for it to fall into. Falls in, my thumb just will guide it if needs be into the center, and the throws come out of the center. It's something to play with, but don't overthink it at the start. Just remember our sequence. We start 1 ball, going side to side, just emphasizing this X shape, X, X, X. Next, we start from our non-dominant hand. We go cross, cross, catch, catch, throw, throw, catch, catch, throw, throw, catch, catch. Then we go 2 balls in our dominant hand to get the release. Throw, gap, throw, gap. And then after that, we just go for throw, 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 drop, drop, drop. Throw, 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 drop, drop, drop. Listen for the rhythm. And then once we have that, once it looks nice, then we start trying to catch. Throw, 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 throw. It will help that, see that I'm speaking out loud saying throw, throw, throw. This will help a lot. And you see this with a lot of advanced jugglers. They have they generally change it to noises or clicks, but they do that to keep their timing, keep the rhythm of the pattern. So don't be afraid to speak out loud and do what you got to do. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you found this useful. and let me know in the comments if it's working. Other than that, have a good day.